Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham. How sweet was that? Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.
Hello and welcome to your Saturday afternoon and night hoops fix. It's WNBL action. Game 1 is the UC Capitals up against the Adelaide Lightning at AIS Arena. The fans are flooding in. It's going to be a very exciting matchup. They may have played just a week ago, but they are ready to go again, these two teams. My name is Matt Hickey. I'm joined by the legendary, the coach extraordinaire, Zoe Carr. Zoe, pleasure to be in the booth with you once again. An exciting matchup.
It is. Thank you for having me. It's not often that you get to have such a short turnaround to exact your revenge, but that'll be exactly what the Lightning are looking for today against the Caps, and the Caps will be looking to extend their winning streak.
They certainly will. It was a 11-point victory for the Caps on Friday, January the 3rd, just a week ago. Some big performances across the board, and it's a really tight middle and, let's be honest, lower pack at the moment with the WNBL standing, so every win just feels so important.
It really is. You can see you've just got so many teams just on that 4 and 5 wins, and so every win becomes important, but even more so, every win against other teams that are vying for that last spot in the finals is almost like a double.
You get the feeling those top 3 teams may have just cleared the bunch, but that 4th spot is going to be a very hot commodity. Flames got a few games in hand, but everybody mathematically still a sniff of making the playoffs, which is just fantastic for the league, isn't it?
It is, because it does mean that every game is so important, so all teams will be throwing everything they've got in every game.
Well, we first look to the UC Caps, who, by the way, looking fantastic in their throwback uniform, celebrating 40 years in the league, and it's a little nod to the 99-2000 championship, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But this team starting to gather a little bit of momentum at the moment, 4-10, really hoping to drag themselves off the bottom of the ladder, and they got the talent to do so.
They definitely do, and they were so good in their last few games. They got back to what they call Caps basketball, so they'll be looking to continue that tonight, and if they can do so, they'll be really difficult, and obviously the addition of Abby Bishop does not hurt.
You certainly beat me to it. There's one name that stood out on that list, and it is Abby Bishop. She doesn't quite have her name on her jersey yet, but she will be wearing the number 66. She retired about a week and a half ago, but the Abby Bishop bat signal was put out by the Caps, and she answered the call. She's back. She's on a 3-game contract as an injury replacement. How good is it to see her back on a WNBL court?
So good, and there's been a bit of talk about the fact that she had only just retired and now she's back, but I think it's brilliant because of her want to help out the Caps because of what the Caps have done for her in her journey. So I love seeing her back in the WNBL. Started
at the Caps, but spent time at the Adelaide Lightning, and it's a good time to talk about the Adelaide Lightning, who have been through some change. We all know in terms of the coaching over the last month or so, but they've got the list. They just need to find some rhythm, don't they?
They do. They've definitely got the talent, but it's about trying to get all of their talent having their games at the same time. We're seeing a lot of games where 1 or 2 players are having big games and big nights out, but they've got to put it all together, and if they can, they'll be a really difficult team for everybody in the league to match up against.
They certainly will, and if they can string some more wins together, I tell you what, Brianna Turner will be the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. What a fantastic season she's having, as she's had over the last few years as well. Such a talent, but they just need a few more wins so she can be in that conversation.
Definitely, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere near her with a basketball. The way she sends and changes shots as well, that isn't statted. The amount of times people are they could have an easy layup, but they go to a completely different shot just because she's in the vicinity. So she's been incredible defensively, and you're right, if they can string some more wins together, she should be getting that that award that she deserves.
And it would be reward for the last 3 years, really, because she's been doing it for a long time and, of course, leads the leagues in blocks per game, top 5 in steals per game, leading rebounder as well. So all the big numbers right there. Now, Abby Bishop not in the starting lineup. Not that we expected her to be in, but we will be on Abby Bishop watch as this big crowd gets ready to take in what should be a very exciting matchup between these two teams. We're just about ready to tip things off. It's the Caps in the throwback yellow, which we love. We'll get on to a bit more of that later on in the game. It's the Adelaide Lightning in the blue. Let's get this thing underway. And much to the joy of the crowd, the Caps will get the first look. Party atmosphere, great step through, and the finish from Collier.
And a really great first play by the Caps as well to go straight into that pick and roll with Collier and Melbourne. So tough to guard running downhill.
What a way to set the tone here in this one. Good effort to seal down low from Bourne. Just stayed patient, stayed with it, couldn't get it to drop. Crowd is up and about. A lot of the throwback, well, they're not throwback if they're from the era jerseys in the crowd as Melbourne swings through and scores 2 more for the Caps.
Adelaide just need to look to compose themselves here, get a good look. Whilst they got the ball inside to Bourne for their first play, it wasn't really through anything that they were running. So early in the game, you really want to be in your execution mode just to set yourself up for the rest of the game.
Prestige straight back into the starting lineup. Hasn't played since December 20, the broken hand, but good to see her back out on the floor. A really key piece for the Lightning. Here's Steph Talbot, good feed, over to the reverse side. It did everything to drop from Turner. It was great execution, but the final step wasn't quite there as Posh swings through. It's all a little bit too easy, but she blows the lane. Wide open, Japristine left it short, almost too open on that occasion, Zoe.
The Caps looking to continue their running game from last week as well. They want to really put pressure on Adelaide's defensive transition.
It's high tempo, short corner jumper, not quite. Collier looking to go to work. She couldn't get that one to drop. Poch had the size mismatch. Another offensive rebound and 2 points this time. The Caps off to a flyer. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a walk, but a good finish from Borlase.
I love that from Borlase though. Her strength, like particularly core strength and ability to take hits and still remain on her feet is very, very impressive.
Yeah, what's I'm almost out of breath just watching this. It is up and down. There's Collier with the deep 2. She's having a good start to this game. Plenty of energy in AIS Arena at the moment. Two teams desperate to drag themselves off the back half of the ladder. Great find. And that's the second time that they've got that look, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's coming from they're switching, so it's ending up with a mismatch inside in the post. So they have to send a second player to trap. And Turner's doing an outstanding job getting to receiver spots.
Chantal Horvath there. And we spoke a little bit pre-game about she's starting to get going and finding her rhythm now.
Yeah, last week was great watching her have a game out. Last time she played Adelaide, it wasn't really her game. So, you know, seeing this start from her too is really exciting.
Talbot real strong. Yeah, Horvath had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals in that big win against Geelong on Sunday. Wide open, plenty of room. Chantal Horvath, who came into this game only shooting 21% from deep, goes bang, and the Caps are up and about.
They are, and they're shooting at such a good percentage too because they're finding great shots. So if they can continue this throughout the rest of the game, they are going to have control.
And when home team gets a hot start, the last thing you want to do is give back the ball, and it's exactly what Adelaide have done. So the Caps will get another look. Somehow that has dropped. It almost brought rain, but Chantal Horvath is on fire.
When it's going your way, things like that tend to happen. Adelaide's got to start to be more disruptive. The Caps are just getting to make passes or put the ball to the floor wherever and whenever they want. They have to be more disruptive defensively, or this scoring trend is going to continue to happen.
Christine might have just got bailed out a little bit there. Went for a really tough look, and Good chance now for the Lightning. Get in that huddle, just have a conversation. I was thinking we might see an early Scott Ninnis timeout, and interesting call there, maybe a little bit on the body. I like the kicks that Dupree Steen's brought out for this occasion.
Shoe game in the WNBL is strong.
So strong. It is so strong.
That'll be really good for Adelaide, though, just to see the ball go through the net a little bit and hopefully compose them offensively. They've got some really good looks to start this game. They just haven't finished them at the percentage they would like.
So no surprise the shoe game is on point when Foot Locker is a major sponsor of the league. You got the best in the business. Jade Melbourne, that one's off. Even nothing possession there from the Caps. It's the first time we've seen a really broken bit of execution. And both teams now just cooled after the very, very hot start to this one. Little rush there. Munga, big block from Turner. Big defensive play, and then I think there may be a flopping warning given to Steph Talbot. The Golden State Valkyrie not too pleased about that one.
I thought there was definitely contact there, so I thought that was maybe a little bit rough. I think she stood on her foot as well, so that makes it hard to keep your feet.
Good defensive possession, and just a little rush there, Chantal Horvath.
And great read defensively, though, from Izzy Borlase as well.
Is that something that you'd expect to see on the scout? Or is that something that's a 50-50 guess, jump to one side and hope?
No, definitely it will appear what's preferred on the scout. And a great play there as well, coming off that cut for Borlase. They need to get her involved offensively as early as they can. But it'll definitely be on the scout what is preferred. Chantal Horvath can go both ways, but definitely prefers the right.
Somehow, twisting and turning, Poch managed to flip that one up, flipped it in, got some firm encouragement from Nicole Munga, and took the smaller Dupree Steen to work and just pirouetted to the basket, and we'll go to the line for one more.
I'm loving what I'm seeing from Poch, though, in the last two games in particular. She's starting to be more aggressive offensively and really start to take charge of the offensive end for the Caps. And it's one of the reasons why they are on the win streak that they're on. If they're going to continue, it has to be something that she is consistent with.
They're going to get another look here as well, the Caps, and not that that one will go down as an offensive rebound, but they did already have 4 as a team, so something to keep an eye on from a Lightning perspective. Collier, the big swing through, and the score just takes it at the front runner for the Defensive Player of the Year and says, has some of that.
And that punch screen is becoming real trouble for the Lightning. They're not really guarding it. I'm not sure what the coverage, I think there's confusion in the coverage, but they continue to find, Jade Melbourne's just continuing to find Collier on that roll, so they need to maybe be more aggressive, try and trap it so it's not such an easy pass, bring somebody off split line to get in the lane, but they can't just let them continue to go at it as easily as they have been.
Great box out from Talbot, but a slip from Dean gives the ball right back, and then it's going to be a foul. Poch looking to go to work, and just an unfortunate moment there for the Lightning.
Yeah, it's unlucky. A little look back to. Thankfully, it wasn't an injury. Sometimes when you have those sort of falls and a look back, it can be something more serious. But yeah, just unfortunate.
We're going to get a timeout on the floor. Also, I don't want to go the very, very early commentator's curse here, but Jade Melbourne has 2 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Now I'm penciling in a triple-double, Zoe.
Pencil away. I love a Jade Melbourne triple-double, so let's see it.
One to keep an eye on as this game goes on. There's no doubt about that. 18-8 at the moment. The Caps have the lead. It's a great chance to shout out our good friends at Signet. Stay power with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. They're great people at signet.com. That's CYGNETT.com to find your perfect power bank. And we all get a chance, Zoe, now just to take a little bit of a breath but it's the Caps with a 10-point margin. Lightning maybe steadied the ship a touch, but 10 points early, always a bit of a battle when you have to fight your way back from the get-go.
Yeah, it is, but thankfully for the Lightning, they've got the players to be able to do that. They can pour on points very quickly. I think they will have been talking about just getting some execution out of this timeout and making sure that they get a high percentage look. Like we mentioned earlier, they have been getting good looks, but they just haven't been finishing them off. And obviously for the Caps, drawing up their play here, and then potentially they may be changing their defense if they do get a score.
One thing to keep an eye on, well, momentarily like they were in some sort of zone, not anymore. Poch ended up wide open from the 45, and they've been let off a few times. There's been some open looks and miscommunications on both ends of the floor, let's be honest. Talbot yet to really get herself into it. The alley-oop pass to Turner, it was almost brilliant, but it just rimmed out.
And that's an example of those looks that they're getting that you'd be 9 times out of 10 you'd probably make, but just not on this occasion.
Chantal Horvath just looks like such a more confident player than we might have seen a month ago. The aggression here, just to go to work straight away. Sees Georgia Pinot on her, says, I like this matchup, I'm going to go to the basket. And maybe a month or two ago, we wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah, so it's great seeing how she's grown throughout this season. And again, much like Poch, she needs to be aggressive if the Caps are going to be successful. And one of the things she's done a really good job of, particularly in the last 2 games, is getting herself to the foul line, which is so important for the Caps because it's not only getting the opposition into foul trouble, but it's just when they're struggling offensively, keeps ticking that scoreboard over.
I actually spent some time with Abby Bishop in Spain as well, playing last year, so good to see those two hopefully on the court together again at some point. Good hands from Collier, just read that really well. Here's Melbourne off to the races. Hard to the right, flips it up, can't flip it in. Turner with the aggressive rebound, and maybe a bit of an unfortunate foul on Poch, who got tangled. Didn't do a whole lot wrong.
Yeah, I think she just, like you said, got tangled up on the rebound, and just an arm in there. It's a bit unfortunate.
Foul on a sore elbow, I think. Poch is walking away from that little tussle. We've got 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's been full of energy. It's the Caps in front of their home fans who lead by 12. Lightning a chance just to eat into that a little bit here with this possession. Ball ace went without it. And again, the run. Here's Melbourne. In the right hands at the moment. A real focus on getting somebody sealed in the paint, isn't there, Zoe?
Yeah, and Chantal Horvath's done an outstanding job of running that middle corridor and just planting herself at the tip of the charge circle. And it doesn't matter where the ball is, she's continuing to seal and reseal, which has been so important for the Caps because it's drawing defense into the paint and obviously, again, drawing fouls.
See some substitutions. And there's another foul drawn right there.
And that'll be Steph Talbot's second, so it'll be interesting to see if she comes out of the game now or whether they just trust her to play with it, but they can't afford to have her in foul trouble.
And just a bit of a costly one as well. I think that applause is for Abby Bishop coming into the game. If you're wondering, it's not a great standing ovation for Steph Talbot getting subbed out. It's Abby Bishop coming onto the floor, so great to see her back out there. But that foul just off an inbound pass, give away 2 free throws when you're trying to fight back into the game early. Just not the ones you want to give away. And as you mentioned, Steph Talbot's second. As the crowd goes silent and Jade Melbourne continues on her merry way. And we get to take our first look at Abby Bishop on the defensive end of the floor. Guarding Pinot. Single digits on the shot clock now. Dean, that's normally money from her, loves the mid-range game.
Yeah, definitely can't go under the handoff or on-ball screen with her. She's too good, particularly off the bounce.
A little moment there from the Caps. Everyone ran away. Jade Melbourne, who normally has ball handling duties, had to pass it in. She had no one to pass the ball to, and that is probably not the way Abby Bishop wanted to come back into the WNBL. Gives away an offensive foul, and she's not too happy about it either.
I think
maybe a little late movement.
Yeah, try and step it across a little late and clipped her, but you know, the intent of trying to actually land the screen is what's pleasing.
12-point game, 2 minutes to play here in the first. Dean's been aggressive in her first game back since the 20th of December. Steps into another mid-range jumper, and they cannot keep giving her those looks.
No, it's, again, getting caught under, either running into or underneath the screens, just not possible when she's such a good pull-up jump shooter.
And this one's going to stay with the Caps. Melbourne not happy with the treatment she received there, and she's going to go have her first break of the afternoon. Good start from her, Jade Melbourne, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, so doing a little bit of everything as she tends to do. Boyer into the game. The tunnel ball briefly played there. Great bounce pass up ahead. Maybe got away with a walk, but the 2 points good. It's Hayley Andrews.
And great running too. These are the little things that Adelaide need to just keep themselves in the game and tick that scoreboard over whilst they find their feet in the half court.
Collier just has really enjoyed this matchup. No surprises, when they met last week, she had 25 points, 16 rebounds, had a big day at the office. She's up to 6 points, 3 boards, 2 steals, and going to the line for a couple of extras as well.
Really used her body well too to protect the ball from the shot blocker in Turner, which is, if she can continue that throughout the game, it's going to put pressure on Turner as to whether she challenges those or not, if she can get her into foul trouble.
It's an interesting one. We're just not used to seeing somebody really go one-on-one against Brianna Turner. But Collier's having plenty of success doing so, especially over the last 7 days. Dean feeling it at the moment. Kick to the corner. No dice. Abby Bishop. Not sure if that'll count as a rebound, but got a little hand in there. Won't look to do too much. Great strength. Potch says, have a little bit of that, Izzy Ball-Ace.
And using her length too, to play over the top of the smaller Ball-Ace. It's exactly what the Caps need from Potch.
Gets a little tip away there. How good is this to see the future of women's basketball in Australia? 2 future opals. They're probably going to play a lot of international basketball together, going head-to-head like this, guarding one another. Fantastic to see. And Potch again has an impact. Dean, little head fake, did enough. Goes high off the glass, no dice. And it's the Caps who come away with it. There's about a 2-second differential between game clock and shot clock. And they will settle things down. Diebel will get a look. Shot clock now down to single digits. Screen will come from Bishop. One way, back the other way. Has to get a shot up, kick to Bishop. The crowd would lose their minds. And Abby Bishop, welcome back to the WNBL. How sweet is that? The home crowd up and about. They gave her a standing ovation when she checked in. They're giving her a big ovation as she scores the final 2 points of the first quarter. It's the Caps who lead 26-14 against the Adelaide Lightning.
You guys are going to have to dribble between these cones as quickly as you can. When you get to the halfway line, because it's our retro night, we're going to celebrate all things retro with a little bit of break dancing. Yes, give me your best ray gun, give me your best old school moves, then pick the ball up, finish the shot, and then come on down and get yourself a prize. Sound good? Are we ready?
26 or 28?
3, 2, 1. Drive to the basket challenge is away.
The stats are 28.
Make sure you check out your Ford local dealer. Oh, yes. Perfect. Yep. That counts as breakdancing. It's on you. Bottom. Spin you around. One's in. This is after the second one. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big round of applause. Put it up there. Guys, for you, thanks to Gerald Slavin
quarter we had, and it ended, well, brilliantly. But where it started, it was attack, attack, attack from the Capitals. They got away to a hot start, and they've built themselves a nice lead, haven't they?
They have, and they've done it by really executing and getting inside the paint. They have 18 points in the paint so far to Adelaide's 8. So you can see the intent between the two teams. The Caps are really putting pressure on the Adelaide defense.
And the ending was the brilliant stuff from Abby Bishop, who gets her first points back in the WNBL and pushes the lead out to 14, 28-14. Japristine pulls up back iron, no dice. But they'll get a second look. It's a really good find and results in 2 points. And the offensive rebounding is an interesting one. The first quarter, Adelaide lost at 5-1. That's a better start for them, attacking the offensive glass.
It is, and like we mentioned earlier, at the moment Adelaide really aren't clicking with their offense right now, so they need those sort of finishes to be able to make sure that they are still in the hunt for this game.
It's going to be interesting to see who this foul is called on. It's not on Steph Talbot, so she did have a little hand in the cookie jar briefly. It would have been her third, but it is interesting. They went straight at her, and she did have to give a little bit of room to potch on the drive, and it's worrying signs, isn't it?
It is, but it's also very smart from the Caps and the Caps coaching staff, because it makes Talbot have to make a choice. Does she contest it, or does she like she normally would, or does she just try and play it safe, at least for, you know, the end of this quarter? So it's really good coaching from the Caps and Coach Boris.
You mentioned the points in the paint differential, and it's come from the awareness of the mismatch. Oh my God, they always seem to have a mismatch somewhere, and they're just attacking that low seal. Great up and under pass, and Turner, they tried that earlier. She didn't quite get the basket to go, but will go to the free throw line for 2.
And you see this little Spain pick and roll here where Turner sets the on-ball screen and then comes off a back screen herself. So hard to guard, and even harder when you've got a player like Turner with her length and her size coming off of that. So again, if they're going to continue to go to that, which they should until the Caps stop it, the Caps are going to have to be more aggressive, particularly on that first screen, so then they're not able to just make that easy lob pass to Turner if she's open.
If you're playing in Spain, do they call it a Spain pick, or is it just a pick?
Yeah, maybe just a pick and roll.
Like if you're playing at UCLA, is it just a cut, or is it?
That's a really good question.
Looks like they're in a bit of a trap here, the Lightning. Just looking to change things up defensively, which is something that Zoe pointed out earlier that might be the case, and it probably shouldn't have worked out, but it has.
But that's what you're trying to do. Obviously, presses are to try and create chaos, trying to get steals and those sort of things. But the secondary aspect to it is to try and speed up the opposition and take them out of their offensive flow, which is exactly what happened just there.
Looking to get it back to 10 or less with this possession. They want to do their work early, and then in the second half can not have to play catch-up for the entire game. Good defensive play, we thought momentarily, from Jade Melbourne. Izzy Bourne has a right little smile on her face.
So she should, I think.
Have a look at the replay. Got the seal, did all the right things, and that looked like a little bit of ball there, so.
Yeah, a little bit, but really smart from the Lightning to find that mismatch and go to it straight away. As soon as Izzy Bourne knew she had Jade Melbourne on her, she got feet straight into the paint and demanded the ball, and the ball took no time to get to her.
Look at Jade Melbourne, just splits it with absolutely no worries. But again, that's what you mentioned, Zoe, it does rush. So even if you don't force the turnovers, you force quick possessions.
And they've got to be careful though, because Nicole Munger can hit those at a very good clip, like we've seen in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, that's the risk you're taking. You're trying to make them take those sort of shots and not allow them to just play their sort of offense.
You're saying don't leave a 41% three-point shooter open. Interesting tactics from Zoe Carr. It's just slowed down a little bit in terms of scoring, but again, down low, good seal from Bourne, and both teams are really focusing on getting and establishing that position early. Lead back to 8 here for the Caps. Here's Melbourne. Great up fake from Munga. How good was that? Sold it brilliantly, did all the work. Shook Steph Talbot out of her boots, but then missed the little finish.
You can see Adelaide defensively are putting more pressure on the on-ball screens now, which is making it harder for the Caps to be able to find their passes the way they were in that first quarter.
It's going to be a foul on Abby Bishop. That should be her second. She's getting a nice little round of applause as she heads to the bench, and it's free throws to come here for Brianna Turner.
And a really good response from the Lightning too out of the quarter time break. They've changed up their defense and they're executing offensively, so it's exactly how they would have wanted to start the game, but they've managed to bring it back in.
They certainly have, and we've got a timeout on the floor. This timeout brought to you by the WNBL app. Make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and more. Download it from the App Store today. Plenty of good stuff on there. Everything that you need if you're a Hoops fan, a WNBL fan, and of course, we like following along the stats. We're all basketball nerds out here and we love the stats, so check it all out on the WNBL app. It's an interesting moment of this game, isn't it, Zoe? Back to 8 points, a chance for Turner to cut it to 7 or 6, and the Caps just a little thrown maybe by this trap and that rushing that we mentioned.
Yeah, and it's exactly what Adelaide would have wanted coming out of quarter time. So now comes the chess match. What's Coach Goris going to throw back at them? But it's also to try and break that momentum. It started to swing towards Adelaide, and they were more often in control. So it's just to calm that down a little bit, break that momentum, and get back to the basketball that they were playing in that first quarter.
And it's a good opportunity for us to mention these incredible jerseys that the Caps are rocking. It's a throwback jersey. It's a nod to the 99-2000 championship team, which was, of course, coached by Carrie Graff. In the grand final, they actually played against the Adelaide Lightning, so it's quite fitting this matchup today. Had the likes of Lauren Jackson, Veal, Shelley Sandy and others all part of that team. So a great night, of course. This is their 40th year in the league as well. Some great history of the Caps, which is what a great club they've been for a very long time. That's a fantastic move. Izzy Bourne puts the Caps in the spin cycle and scores 2.
Great finish from Bourne, and not much more Chantel Horvath could have done defensively. She took the hit in the chest, but sometimes offense was just better.
Zoe, will you be happy to sign my petition for more throwback jerseys in the WNBL?
Sure.
Okay, that makes 2. If anybody else wants to sign, please let me know.
I'm actually a big fan for the Indigenous jerseys being all year.
Yeah,
they were incredible.
There's some NBL 1 teams who do that, and they do always look fantastic. So lead back to 5, and they get the ball again. This is a big run, and we've seen this play a number of times. Alley-oop set up from Japristine to Brianna Turner, and here come the Adelaide Lightning. Caps need to find the bottom of the net. Again, the blitz on Jade Melbourne out of the pick and roll. That's a tough look, and the defense standing up at the moment. The Lightning will go again. We might get another timeout. If Steph Talbot can bury this, we'll call it a pass. Not sure the statisticians would have agreed. It might be another rebound to Brianna Turner, who draws a foul on Jade Melbourne, which I think will be her second, Zoe.
Yeah, it will. And again, it's a decision that Coach Goris will have to make. You don't want her going into the third quarter with 3 fouls. So, you know, there'll be a bit of trust there. Will the Lightning recognise that and try and go at her the way the Caps did with Talbot?
14 of the last 21 points here, the Adelaide Lightning. Get the feeling maybe if they still had that 10 or 12 point buffer, Melbourne might be going to the bench now, but they need something. Another offensive rebound. Haven't they flipped the script on that stat right there, but the finish no good from Turner, and the Caps just need to find the bottom of the net. I've seen heaps of Munga throughout this game. Great read from the weak side. The flip back in as well from Andrews. Wide open. Bourne Three ball did everything but drop. Another offensive rebound. Pristine. One way, back the other way. Andrews turns the corner with the left. Another offensive rebound. This is remarkable from the Lightning. They were getting beaten 5-1 on the O boards. Dean splits the difference. They just can't put the ball in the back of the net, but they're going to get another look. And this might be good for the Caps because there's a shot clock issue, which will give them the chance just to chat things over. Hayley Andrews heads to the bench. What great minutes from her.
Absolutely, but the Caps have got to take care of the glass at the moment. They were let out of jail on that possession. Adelaide won't often have that many bites at it and not convert, so they need to take control of it. Even if it's you're on a mismatch, you must get a body and box out.
Tried to pass the ball through the legs, and that is just a momentum breaker if ever you've seen one. They were dominating possession, they were dominating the game, but a giveaway right there, and Munga gets two quite easily up the other end.
And Monique Babongi has done an outstanding job on Dean since she's come onto the floor. She's made it really difficult for her to come off the screens. You can see she's squeezing over the top of everything. That's the sort of D that needs to be played on her. So well done to the young Monique Babongi.
Yes, junior Australian representative, and Lightning have turned the ball over again. And just as they were getting back into the game, the speed of the Caps goes bang, bang, and there's Babongi on cue, forces another turnover, the crowd getting involved. Munga steps into a big triple and goes bang for the Caps. And just like that, the lead balloons back out to 10. What a 90 seconds from the home side.
So good from the Caps too. They got caught up again, you know, the momentum shift went to Adelaide, and they just sat down and defended, and that is what caused this. It wasn't anything brilliant offensively that they drew up or executed. They defended, and it ignited their offense.
Fantastic stuff from the Caps. This timeout brought to you by CTM Sports. Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to the travel headaches. Say hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. That's ctmsport.com.au. So what's the conversation now? If you're Scott Ninnis sitting in that huddle, you've done so much right, and then 60 seconds has cost you a big chance to almost take the lead. What's the message?
I think it's about getting back to what they were doing offensively. They started to, try and thread passes that weren't quite there or weren't making sure of things. So, doing the easy things, making the easy pass, getting back to the Spain pick and roll offense. They may not get Turner coming off that back screen, but for them not to get that, something else will be open. So it's too big for them not to go back to.
It's a great pickup from you as well earlier, Zoe. The move of bringing Babongi on to guard Pristine has just changed the momentum of this game, and Dean forces another pass and they get another turnover. Jade Melbourne, corner three. No dice. Dean, it just falls into her lap. Does the smart thing and says, let's just take a second. Let's get something going. Talbot, entry feed. That is professional if ever I've seen it.
And so good from a taller guard to just get in the paint and demand the ball. So, that's great recognition from the Lightning, both from Talbot and the other players to make sure they get her the ball.
Jade Melbourne, are you kidding me? How did she get that ball through? That's one that you might go, you owe me a coffee, Nicole Munga, because that was going to be on the highlight reel, but a miscommunication on defense results to 2 points to the Lightning, and again, it just continues to swing one way then the other, lead back to just 6, 2:40 to play in the first half. Slow possession here for the Caps, very stagnant. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Nothing's really happened. And Nicole Munga couldn't bail them out. It's one as a coach that if if you've got hair, you tear it out a little bit.
Yeah, really tough that they went into a stagger screen and so 2 screens for Monique Mbongi to come off, but Talbot was just too good defensively and basically blocked her from coming off it at all. So it really slowed that possession down.
Another turnover for the Adelaide Lightning, and they're really hurting them at the moment. They've got 9 for the game, on track for 20 plus, and let's be honest, you don't win too many games with those numbers.
No, yeah, it's definitely not what you're looking for, but you know, what they were looking to get out of that offense with a Talbot post-up is what they should be trying to attack.
Well, they're going to get it right back. Fantastic play from Ball Ace, kept the dribble alive somehow, and scored 2, and the Lightning just clawing their way back into this contest. Melbourne, great pass, Mbongi. Almost looked like that one went in, but it didn't.
It went in.
Great read from Potch, another turnover the Lightning. They're just shooting themselves in the foot at the moment. Mbongi straight to the basket, one more to Collier, takes her time, puts it in and scores. Great vision from Melbourne to get that possession going.
And Mbongi's had such a huge impact on this game. But now at both ends, obviously defensively she's been great, but offensively to find Collier in that receiver spot.
Good answer from Talbot. Was only a deep 2, but yeah, we didn't see Mbongi at all in the first quarter, but she's come out here, and the stats won't show a massive impact, but on court, if you've been watching, it's been huge. Posh just saw the gap open up, draws the foul on Ball Ace, and this battle continues to brew.
I think Collier might have got away with just clearing the path a little bit there for Potch, but great recognition from Potch and aggression. It's what we've wanted to see from her all year.
She's come out firing, and at the moment, maybe just has the edge in terms of the one-on-one battle. It's also worth noting Brenna Turner already has 12 rebounds, and we still have a minute to go in the first half, if you don't mind. They are just setting some of these young defenders. It's Boya this time on Pristine and giving her an absolute headache as she brings the ball up and down the court.
And the Caps are going to have to take care of that post-up play. They go the opposite side of Talbot and duck her in against the smaller guards, and she's too big and she's too strong for that. So they're going to have to try and, you know, as she goes to duck into that space, maybe try and switch off of one of the bigger players that are sitting higher on the court, just to take care of that, because they're going at that in every possession.
And they're in the bonus, so it will be free throws after this time out to Steph Talbot. Great chance to shout out the good folks at Ford. Ford dealers are all about supporting the game here in Australia, from Ford Aussie Hoops all the way to the WNBL. Ford's been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. 41-34 the way of the Caps at the moment. Not long left to go here in this first half. It's been up and down. It's been great to watch. Of course, these two teams played just a week ago, and it was the Caps who got the win 88-77. We've seen a little bit of Abby Bishop. She's played 5.5 minutes in her return game. Of course, signed a 3-game contract, if you've missed that. A 3-game contract as an injury replacement. Only announced her retirement about a week and a half ago, the former WNBL MVP, but when the call was made, she answered, and it's been great to see her back out on the WNBL floor. First one good for Talbot.
It'd be interesting to see if on this made free throw, if the Lightning go back into that press again and just try and create a little bit of chaos for the Caps offensively. And I just absolutely jinxed that. I'm so sorry, Steph Talbot.
One of the great ones there from Zoe Carr. But that's what triggered the run that they had in the first part of this second quarter. So See if they utilise different defences later on. Potch is just going at the Adelaide Lightning right now. What a game she's putting together. That time it was Izzy Bourne who got the Potch treatment. Dean, I thought it was a jump shot. It was a little lob pass to Turner. Great extra find. Somebody's got to shoot the ball. It ends up in the hands of Japrice Dean. It was a good look. She couldn't get it to go. She somehow gets it back. The smallest player in the court. Shot clock winding down. Time winding down in the first half. And good hands out of bounds on the Adelaide Lightning. The Capitals have 1.2 seconds.
And if I'm Jade Melbourne, I am angry. She did such an outstanding job of boxing out. One person doesn't box out and that player comes up with it.
So half-time here in this one between the Caps and the Lightning, and it's the home side who lead 43-35, but we've got a massive second half in store for this matchup.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Get closer to the game with the free WNBL app.
Clark with the N1.
Check out the fixture and grab your tickets.
What a finish to the third quarter.
Catch game highlights, stay connected to your favorite player or team, and follow live game stats. Anytime, anywhere.
Cole cracks two more.
The WNBL app is where it's at. Download now.
Celebrating 50 years of sneakers?
For a delicious dinner that disappears and lets you squeeze in one more episode before bed. Pick up Latina Fresh, Australia's favourite pasta and sauce. Latina, we got the weeknight.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Welcome back to AIS Arena. Well, they say basketball is a game of runs, and that is certainly what we have seen in the first half of this one. It was the Capitals who fired the first shot. The Lightning went right back at them to start the second quarter. The Caps answered back. The Lightning gave a little jab, I guess, on the way back into halftime. It's all been happening. If you're just joining us, my name is Matt Hickey. I'm joined by Zoe Curran. Zoe, we've had a chance just to gather ourselves, but what an up-tempo, entertaining first half it's been.
It's been an absolute seesaw. Both teams just dragging momentum back from each other. And so it's been, as you mentioned, up and down. But, the Caps have done a really good job of getting the ball in the paint whether it be through hitting their bigs in Collier and Horvat, or Poch putting the ball to the floor and attacking the rim. Adelaide continue to put pressure on the glass, the offensive glass. They've got 9 for the game so far, and normally you only allow 10 for a whole game. So if they can continue to do that, they'll continue to put pressure on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you pointed out after the first quarter some of those numbers in terms of points in the paint, which Capitals were +10. The offensive rebounding, which the Caps were +4. Almost like Adelaide have just done the complete opposite to them. So they've given them some of their own treatment. Adelaide won the offensive rebound count 8-1 in that second quarter and won the points in the paint 14-10. So it's a battle.
It is. And you saw, though, that the Lightning did a great job in that quarter of holding the Caps to 15 points. So it's sort of the first quarter they exploded with 20, allowed the Caps 28 points. So to be able to really defend in that second quarter and hold them to 15 will be really pleasing for them. But now it's about continuing that. So you come out of this break, can you continue to put that sort of pressure on defensively and hold the Caps to a low score?
Yeah, we will wait and see. Some top performers you can see there. Poch has been brilliantly. Brandon Turner's cleaning the glass like she always tends to do. An exciting second half in store. Before we get to that, let's check out the top 5 plays of round 10.
Beautiful pass. Turner in the air. Thanks, Talbot. She's sorted. She's good. Lands a 3.
On the line, on target.
Ellis to Crowley. Really wanted to get Ellis back. Gets her eventually. Abby Ellis for the win.
Oh my goodness! You could not have defended that any better, Abby Ellis.
Abby Ellis, you are clutch. The game winner for the Fire.
Challenge. While our players are warming up, it's retro night. The best 80s toy, hands down, was the Rubik's Cube. I'm not going to make you guys come out here and do a basketball challenge because, you know, you can do it, but we just don't want you to get hot and sweaty while we're supposed to be enjoying it. So I've made these pretty simple. Don't cheat, you can't start yet. Whoever finishes it first gets to win the 2025 Retro Round Challenge Championship. Are you ready? See who finishes first, but you've only got 4 minutes. I'm hoping it doesn't go for 4 minutes. Are you ready? Set, go. You are kidding! Did you check the whole thing? Don't just do one side. Jasmine, ladies and gentlemen! Jasmine! Very close, Carly Wilson. All right. Your next challenge is, if you'd like to, you can give a few of these back to the kids in the crowd. If you want to. Kids, if you want to win a Rubik's Cube, make some noise. All right as well. Thank you, boys. Who wants a Rubik's Cube? Over here. Who's making some noise over this side? There's some noisy people. Are you ready? Good catch. Our
Welcome back to your Saturday Hoops Fix. It's game one of a doubleheader. It's the AIS Arena. Prince is pumping across the loudspeaker. We're having a great time. Why wouldn't you? What else would you rather be doing on your Saturday afternoon? And at the moment, it's the Caps who have the advantage, and a lot of that has been through the play. Second half, that is for sure. Now, you may notice today and across the season that players from both teams have a purple band around the top of their singlet. This band is a powerful symbol of support for survivors of domestic violence. So this season, WNBL, the clubs, athletes, the Players Association, they've all united to raise awareness around what is a really critical issue. Enough is enough. A life free from violence is possible. And when everyone plays a role, real change happens. Learn how you can be part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. You can see the details on your screen there. You can scan that QR code. A really, really important initiative by the WNBL, the clubs, athletes, and the Players Association. And the second half of this matchup is now underway. It's the Capitals who will get the first look. Just one that, as a coach, must drive you insane, Zoe.
It does. It's a bit of a coach killer, but better to happen now than, you know, with a couple of minutes to go in the fourth. But yeah, just a little bit of knowing where you are on the floor. That stepping out of bounds is something that's quite avoidable.
Are you one of the believers that players don't practice enough in the bounds of the court, as we see a nice finish from Steph Talbot, and during shooting drills might step out of bounds, they need to play it a bit tighter? Are you one of those people?
Not so much that, as I think that there's a need to step backwards before pushing off and going forward. So having that negative step, if they can remove that, and if they're going to put the ball to the floor, have their first step be forward, I think we'll see a lot less of it.
Remove the negative step, I like that. How's the no-look pass from Jade Melbourne, and didn't get the assist. We've seen that a few times, but she picks that one off like a cornerback in the NFL. Read it beautifully. Over to Potch for three. If you don't mind, it's all coming up. UC Caps.
Almost looked Talbot in the eye before she shot that. That was outstanding from Potch. She has been so good for the Caps offensively in this game so far.
Came into this game shooting 20% from deep on the season, and that one never looked like missing. So scouting report said leave her open. She said, I'll have all of that, thank you, as Jade Melbourne picks up two of her own. And just like that, we've only played 90 seconds, and it's ballooned back out to an 11-point margin. And
you saw there, using Collier in that on-ball screen with Melbourne, they went to Collier because of how potent she was in that first half, which opened up an easy finish for Jade Melbourne.
It's good to see some Izzy Ball-Ace aggression, but she couldn't get the shot to drop. And a little bump from Ball-Ace. And it's going to be a foul. It's a bit of a late whistle. Potch just grabbing that right ankle, which will keep an eye on physical defense. Maybe a little bit of frustration from the early play, and Potch also stood on the foot of Ball-Ace, which caused a little bit of an ankle tweak. Up now, looks to be okay. Floor wiper, could just wipe that spot on the floor, but didn't want to push into the huddle. Caps almost had a sixth player out there for a second. Hobbling a little bit, Potch, but has not looked at the bench once, so really doesn't want to get taken out of the game, which you'll love to see.
Hopefully just a bit of a stinger, and with a bit of running she'll be okay.
keep an eye on that as this third quarter progresses. Again, early feed into the paint. Collier up, under. Great defensive play from Turner, not fouling but contesting the shot.
Love the step through though. You know Brianna Turner is a shot blocker. So to get her up in the air there and look to attack, probably unlucky not to get a call there on the body, but physicality is a part of the WNBL. So she should look to continue to try and play Turner that way because she is looking to try and block her shot.
Shot clock was winding down there, so Horvat did have to get it up in a hurry. Lightning have been doing it by committee at the moment. All 5 starters have 6 or more points. Maybe they just need someone to take the lead, grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Melbourne one way, back the other, flips it up, flips it in. Jade Melbourne at her absolute best.
Outstanding finish to take that hit and be able to finish high and soft off the glass.
Almost unguardable when she gets going towards the paint and she's got the basket in her mind. Grabbing and pushing, it's physical. Got to get a shot up here, ball ace. Good job from Collier, not to foul, but to contest, and they'll come back the other way. Push pass was brilliant from Melbourne. The Poch, who drops it. It's all caps here at AIS Arena.
An outstanding transition from the Capitals, just continuing to push the ball and most importantly, kick the ball ahead to advantage. Adelaide Lightning need to take care of their defensive transition. Jade Melbourne is just getting it too easy being able to find who she wants when she's advancing the ball. She's got to be found earlier and put under pressure.
She's been fantastic and Potch doing the work as well. Melbourne up to 8 assists. This time out brought to you by Latina Fresh for a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy. Pick up a family pack of Latina Fresh pasta and sauce. It's ready in minutes and so delicious there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in the chilled pasta aisle near you. Now Zoe, we have a bit of a gap between the 2 games. I think it's possible for me to run to the shops and get a pack of Latina Fresh because I will be hungry. Actually, I think I'm already hungry.
I think you do definitely have time, especially how quickly it can be cooked. So you will be fine.
Yes, well played. I'll be sprinting out the door at the buzzer, getting down to a local supermarket. What a play this was. The one-handed push pass, so pretty, and then the strength of the finish. And it's just such fantastic signs from Posh. It looks like she's come out with a real point to prove in this game, doesn't it?
She has, but it's also what we have expected from her. We expect her to be playing like this and to be this much of a force offensively because we've seen it for so long. So it's just great to see her that she's putting these games together in a row as well, which is more important for her.
Her ability to get up and down the court, and those 2 in the open court, she runs the lane so well, and with Jade Melbourne dishing out the assist that she does so regularly, I tell you what, it is a scary combo when they get going. Buries the free throw as well, and in the blink of an eye, the lead is out to 16. Would you believe it? It's a 10-2 quarter so far through the first 3.25 minutes. Great entry pass, great seal, great finish despite a double team from Izzy Bourne.
And they just ran that little cross screen, down screen, and Bourne did a great job of seeking the mismatch and then back sealing and just holding that seal. So rather than stepping out and allowing the guard to be able to get around, she really held her.
And into a 2-3 zone here as well, the Adelaide Lightning. So a defensive switch. Melbourne steps into a 3 and says every bit of that. Jade Melbourne full of confidence, up to 11 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Great defensive play from Nicole Munger. Screen from Melbourne and ball ace. A little frustration coming out there, you'd think. Just ran right through Jade Melbourne.
But again, Jade Melbourne virtually unimpeded bringing the ball down the floor. So you've got, at the moment, Canberra being able to bring the ball down the floor easily and kick the ball ahead. If you're going to not be right on track with your defensive transition, it's one or the other. take care of the basket and not allow the ball to be advanced.
Collier got to the hip of Turner, did some good work, just couldn't finish. Need an answer here, the Lightning, otherwise this could get out of hand in a hurry. Bourne double teamed and gets fouled by Collier, maybe just a little overzealous coming across to have the double, and it'll be free throws, much to the delight of the Lightning fans.
And Adelaide have been really good at recognising their mismatches and really exploiting them. It hasn't taken long once the mismatch has been created for the ball to reach that person. So really good signs for Adelaide, but it's the defensive end that they've got to take care of right now.
So lead now back to 15. You can see Scott Nimmis there. He's got some decisions to make. Back to this little trap, but again, for not the first time, Jade Melbourne just dribbles straight through it, which is just about the first thing on the list of things you cannot let a team do if you're in a trap. Quick look back the other end, Ball Ace just cannot quite find the stroke at the moment. Great cut from Horvat. Just beat Bourne to the spot, scored 2, and the Lightning cannot afford the Caps to play this open, free-flowing basketball.
No, and it's great transition from the Capitals. If you can't kick the ball down the line, go opposite. We're often told not to kick the ball opposite because it's a turnover, but if you're close enough to the centre and go opposite, it opens up those cutting lanes for your bigs.
And a reach-in foul there on the double. And you can see the message there from Jay Melbourne was, if you've got it trapped in the spot, keep your hands up. Don't reach in. We've got them right where we want them. Tell you what, if they keep playing like this, the Caps might want to wear the throwback jerseys every single game, Zoe.
Well, why not? They look fantastic.
Crowd certainly enjoying this quarter. It's been a big one for the Caps. Wide open ball, line drive triple. And they have had some good looks, just unable to knock them down at the moment.
They have, and that's a look that you would expect Bourne to hit more often than not. She's been fantastic from the three-point line this season. So, again, it's we talk about getting the right looks. They've got to continue to do that, but it's this end of the floor that's their big problem right now.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Izzy Bourne's 48% three-point shooter coming into this game. Single digits on the shot clock. Same spot, she hit one earlier. Poch feeling it. Maybe back to slightly more regular programming that we've seen from her this season. Big defensive play from Horvat. Ball Ace can't afford to pick up another foul, but she did really well there and should get rewarded with 2 points. Although, here come the Caps, but she just beats them to the spot.
That's really pleasing for Adelaide. They've forced the Caps into some shots, some three-point shots, but they cannot allow that, and that's the threat of a zone. It's so hard to box out, but once they get their stops, they need to capitalise, and you see a missed layup there from Talbot. They're the things they can't afford to happen right now. If they're going to string some stops together, they have to get down the other end and really punish the Caps for that.
Would make 999 of 1,000 of those, Steph Talbot, and that we just saw was the one miss. You're right, they got that miss in the last possession, did all the work. What a finish from Poch. He's having some sort of game, 21 points, and is putting the entire state of South Australia in the weight room at the moment, Zoe.
She sure is, and I mean, we've said it a million times in this game already. Poch playing aggressive only means good things for the Caps.
Playing with absolutely zero fear. Nice work from Ball Ace, but the recovery from Boya. What a team at the moment, the Caps. Where has this side been all season long? Collier buries the 2.
And you can see a little bit of fatigue setting in the Lightning camp as well. Their starters have logged some big minutes. And they're starting to really make those errors that they probably, you know, if they're a little more refreshed, don't make. So probably look to either get them a bit of a break or get some rotations in there. I know there's a lead at the moment, but with the way that they're playing right now, they're not in the position to get it back.
The lead's out to 21, 2:10 to play, still in the third quarter. And it's just all going the way of the Caps at the moment. Melbourne, blitz Kane, Poch, up fake, swing through. Might end up with her own rebound. No, it was a good box out from Ball Ace down low. They have a 3-on-2 here if they can take advantage. Andrews with a strong finish. And the rest of the Adelaide Lightning look absolutely gassed, but Ailey Andrews says, don't worry, give the ball to me, I've got this one covered.
And that's a really crucial foul there too, because that'll be Jade Melbourne's third foul. So now she comes out of the game, and she has been everything for the Caps in terms of facilitating, scoring, defending. So this is the Lightning's time to strike. Pardon the pun.
I was about to say, that is very good from you, Zoe. Claim that one. Very, very good. Still just figuring out exactly how they want this zone to look. It looked like a 2-3 earlier, now a 3-2. It's been a better defensive possession. They get the stop, and if they can bring this lead in the next 90 seconds back under 15 points, it might just be game on. Well, I told you she only misses 1 out of 1,000, so we're back to regular programming for Steph Talbot.
But I'd really like to see the Lightning up the floor here. You've got your backup point guard, and while she's very good in Katie Diebel, your backup point guard comes into the game, you want to try and put some pressure on her, not allow her to just bring the ball up the floor easily.
Another stop. It was a pretty good offensive set there from the Caps. Got a good look, didn't drop. Dean, pull-up jumper. And that's bread and butter for her. She thought there was a bit of contact on the ball handler. Back to 14 with inside a minute to play. Another little swing in this game. Great play. Bishop ends up with it, and the foul I think is going to go against Pinot. Wrong spot, wrong time. And we get to see a bit of Abby Bishop from the free throw line. Just so good to see her back out on the floor. Now, we had a discussion pre-game whether the 66 means anything, but it does seem like that's just the backup jersey, doesn't it?
Well, given it doesn't have a name on it, I'd say it's probably a blood singlet. But, you know, again, a sign of an absolute great human that none of that matters. She's just there to play and to help out.
Tell you what, not a bad play to pick up for a few games as an injury replacement. Former MVP of the league.
Not many of those lying around.
No, not at all. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Dean, good look, couldn't get it to go. Need a stop here, the Lightning. Stopping a score with about 4 seconds between game clock and shot clock. That would be the ideal scenario, but it's been the Caps quarter, that is for sure. Boda from way downtown. That one was short. And the Lightning have enough time for a good look. Plenty of contact. Kick to Japrice Dean. Big shot. Gets it to go. Lightning not out of this one. And we are 3 quarters down. The Caps, they dominated that third period, but the Lightning, a late little flourish. It's 66-53 the way of the home side, but we have a big last quarter in store for you at AIS Arena.
Now what's going to happen is, Cappy is going to, I think that's pretty good. Cappy is going to hide somewhere on the court. When the crowd cheers for you, it means you're heading in the right direction. When they boo, it means you're heading in the wrong direction. Are you ready? Are you set, Canberra, to help out Sonia? 3, 2, 1, go Sonia, go! Keep going, Sonia! Keep going, Sonia, hold on to that. Come on over this way with me. Sonia, you know what that means? That means that we're going to get from our good friends at All Homes $150 off your next basketball fees, and we've got a little cash prize back for you as well. How does that sound? Does that sound good?
Hello and welcome back to AIS Arena, where the UC Capitals have a handy 13-point margin, but a late run in the last minute of the third has seen the Lightning just cut it back to 13 and just giving them a little sniff heading into this last quarter. Zoe Carr joining me. Bit to play out here, but can the Lightning make a run?
We know how quickly they can score. I mean, we just saw how quickly they can score. So the Caps have to do a job here defensively early to try and extend their lead again like they did at the start of the third quarter.
And on cue, as if you've got a line down there to the court, they do come up with a stop on the first defensive possession. Bishop had set herself up brilliantly in the paint and said, nah, I don't want any of this. Instead takes the deep two. No dice. Collier, big offensive rebound. Spins one way, back the other way. Brianna Turner says, not in my house. Wins the ball back for the Lightning. So in the end, it only ended up being a 23-18 quarter in the third. It did feel like a little bit more than that, didn't it, Zoe?
It certainly did. It felt like, you know, the Caps really blew it out there for a while, but that late run, and again, it was, the whole game has been a seesawing affair, but it was just more majority dominated by the Caps, and then that last, you know, sort of 2-3 minutes, the Lightning really swung it back their way.
They certainly did. Melbourne just left it at the feet of Collier, who flips it out to no one in particular. And it was the combination of Poch and Melbourne in that third quarter. They combined for 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and their play in transition and in the open floor was just fantastic to watch. Adelaide desperate for a basket here to start the third quarter. Good work from Andrews. Drew the foul, will go the line for one extra. Munga might have just copped a stray one.
Andrews has had a big impact on this game so far. Has 7 points so far for the game, but little things that she's done. She's brought energy. She's pushed the ball. She's got her hands into some little deflections that again won't be statted on the stat sheet. So she's been a real breath of fresh air for the Lightning.
She certainly has. And in a team that relies so heavily on their starting 5, she really does provide that punch off the bench. By the way, those signs that we just caught a glimpse of, maybe the most professional signs I've ever seen at a basketball game in my entire life. Somebody's mum or dad has to be involved in printing to be able to get those done. That is remarkable. Good defense here in this 2-3 zone. Poch for 3. Doesn't mind it after hitting that first one in the third quarter. Good rebound from Nicole Munga. Offensive rebounding slowed a little bit for both teams. Poch, great defensive play from the weak side. Gets it back one more time, finally. Adelaide collect the ball. Chance to cut it to 10 or potentially single digits. Every possession just feeling more important as this game goes on. Andrews has been the spark plug for the Lightning. Little pass fake was delicious. The 2 points even better. That's not a top 5 play of the round, Zoe. I don't know what is. Incredible play, Hayley Andrews. Steal from Turner. Top 5 in the league for those. Here comes Andrews again. Drop-off pass. Pinot cops some contact from Munga from the back. And then a little bit of contact from the front. Now will go to the line to shoot 2.
And Adelaide doing a really good job in their 2-3 zone there. They're really stalling the Caps' offense and making it difficult for them. The Caps have to get back to what was working for them, shifting the ball, forcing that zone to have to move from side to side, getting a little bit of high-low looks and some dives. One big gets it, the other one cuts, and continue to put pressure on the rim.
Look at those. Zoe, have a look at those signs. That's
That's
graphic design word.
That's not Microsoft Paint.
No, and if it is, That is incredible. Microsoft Paint has improved rapidly since I last used it. Phenomenal. I don't think there's a prize for best sign in the WNBL, but if there was, we're awarding it to you guys there in the front row at AIS Arena. I think when I did signs when I was a kid, it was very bad drawing. Not that my drawing's improved at all, Zoe, but I'd be lucky to colour in the lines. This one's going to stay with Adelaide after the missed free throw, so again, just a little thing that goes their way. Single digits as well, which is always a big mental thing to see on the scoreboard. Haley Andrews has been the one at the moment to get them going. Talbot, corner kick, jumper on its way. A little too strong from Pinot. Munga's normally the player in these moments. Just when they need a basket, she tends to do something special. Picks her moments well. Melbourne, kick, Horvat wide open. No mistake from Chantal Horvat, who was on fire in the first quarter, been a little bit quiet since, but steps up when her team needs her.
And that's a double-double now for Melbourne with points and assists, 11 points, 10 assists. So she's been involved with so many scores throughout this game.
Born an absolute string. Dean maybe a little rushed. Good volleyball spike out from Turner. Pick up from Talbot. Mismatch got to be down low. Have to look to feed. Double will come. Talbot, almost from Adelaide. Hits back iron, doesn't get it to go. Hodge, hard rip again. The strength. She willed herself to the basket and then willed the ball in that said basket. What a play, and two really important settling baskets for the Caps.
And just rejecting that screen where the gap is, and it makes it really hard for the split to know whether they come across or not because she is so low. And being able to be so strong, take the hit and then force the space for herself to finish. Incredible work from Poch.
Oh, right, this is scary for the rest of the league. And Poch is in a mood like this, playing with zero fear at the moment. And up to 24 points, 5 rebounds. Talbot, nice little head fake, freed herself up. Ball just fell into her lap. This one has to go for the Lightning. Bourne doesn't get it to drop, and Munga with a strong rebound. Good running, ran into her own player. Bit of a messy possession in the end. Bourne's going to be open, just has to wait a second, and the pressure was enough from Nicole Munga. Fell over, but did the job.
Yeah, let out of jail there, the Caps, because Munga should not be the last one back in transition, and then the first one to get the deepest player.
Charlie Collier shoots the three ball at 14%, but she shot that one like she shoots it at 50. Charlie Collier, if you don't mind. How was that, Zoe?
Well, it's what this game has been. We're just expecting the unexpected now, but shot it with confidence, had rebounders, so why not?
Good chance to thank our great friends at Foot Locker. Foot Locker, they're celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate 50 years and the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel, all the very best stuff at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL, and my petition to get commentators and production staff on the Foot Locker list just hasn't quite come off yet, but I'm still working on it, everybody. So the Caps now push the lead back out to 18, and just when it started to get really tight, some big baskets, some big moments. Crowd loving it. It's been a great crowd all night. And just for a little bit of reference, Charlie Collier before that shot was 2 of 14 on the season. 2 of 14 on the season, I said, from the land of plenty, but zero hesitation. And fantastic finish in the end, and just gives them a nice little buffer. just about ready to get things back underway. Lightning need to make a move quickly. Time's starting to work against them, isn't it, Zoe?
No, and it's looking for, you're obviously trying to get as quick scores as you can, create more possessions, but it's got to be quality, because if they're not, there's no point. They're as bad as a turnover. So continue to find your high quality looks and punish mismatches as best they can that they've done all game.
Yeah, it's been a real focal point of both teams, that pushing the ball inside, and that right there being almost a bit of a representation and symbolism of their game so far. You get a great look, and somebody who would normally knock that down, it just doesn't drop. A game of almost for the Lightning. Shot clock into single digits. Melbourne step back three. Roof might have blown off AIS Arena if that one went down. They're going to get another stop. No look pass was good, but Turner knocked it away. Pristine pull-up jump shot. This game just getting a little bit loose at the moment. I think that's going to be a foul on Jade Melbourne. It should be her fourth, I believe, Zoe.
That's interesting. He obviously got a little bit of a buffer here. You want Jade for the very end, so, and it looks like Katie Diebel's about to check in. But Adelaide need to try and go at her if they can.
Being guarded by Steph Talbot, is guarding Steph Talbot as well. As nice triple from Izzy Ball-Ace, who's had a bit of a tough afternoon. Now 5 of 13 from the field. That's her first make from deep. Munga, sweet touch, gets it to drop.
And great read too, just checked where the defense was. They dropped back onto that screener. And be able to pull up, but a great back cut there too. Ball-Ace really starting to enter the game now, right at the right time.
Gotta love when you're big, can take a couple dribbles and then push through a little backdoor pass like that. All that with a good answer, but they can score as much as they want, Zoe, but if they don't get stops, nothing is going to change on the scoreboard. Talbot again, have to get a stop. Both teams look gassed out there.
And this is where now Adelaide have got to start gambling. They've got to get up the floor. Jade Melbourne's happy to just walk the ball up the floor and take as much time as she can off the clock. Adelaide have got to get up the floor and put pressure on that and try and get some turnovers.
Potch for three. Assist number 12 for Jade Melbourne. Up to 27 points. Fatigue thing, Zoe. I'd love to get a little bit of science. All basketballers suffer from the problem where they just look a lot more tired when they're playing defense as opposed to when they've got the ball in their hands. I don't know what the science is behind that, but it's an epidemic.
I'd go as far to say you want to play offense, you don't want to play defense. So
it's going to be an offensive foul, which will see the ball back with the Caps. Lead is 18, and Jade Melbourne steps out for what could very well be the last time we see her in this one. 11 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds. May have monstered her a little bit with the early triple-double call, but still a very good afternoon at the office. Potch heads to the bench as well. 27 points, 5 rebounds. A couple of triples in there too.
So Adelaide, that was an opportunity there to get up the floor. They've just taken Melbourne and Potch out of the game. Get up the floor and try and generate some steals. Put a little bit of pressure whilst it looks like the game is over. Put a little bit of pressure on the Caps.
And they get a stop there. Brenna Turner got a block, a steal. And you're right, Zoe, they get a score there. If they can press up, force a couple of turnovers, get it back down to 8 or 10, and all of a sudden the starters have to come back out and things might get a little bit interesting. That's a really tough finish from Boyart. And we do have a timeout on the floor. Scott Ninnis wants to talk things over. Both of these teams only play the one game this round. So we'll be leaving it all out there on the floor. Brianna Turner, just quietly, only the 6 points, but 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, continues to just do incredible things out there on the field.
I wish that we could stat how often she just changes shots. You know, her presence being there, that a shot goes up that would normally be easy, is changed and it misses, because if that was added to her block tally, she'd be right up there almost with the, you know, double figure block tally.
Yeah, no doubt. And Charlie Collier went at her earlier, 17 points, 10 rebounds to this point, but did a lot of that work early and has done a really good job to turn things around, Brianna Turner, in that matchup. And we can have a look at hockey pass and wide open, feet set, and that's a stroke that continues to improve, doesn't it, Zoe?
It does, and it improves with her confidence too. You can see everything else in her game is starting to really come together, so the shot is going down at a better clip.
So it'll be Lightning ball. They trail by 18, 2:06 on the clock. And interestingly, if the result stays the way that it is at the moment, both teams will sit at 5 and 10. And that middle pack just gets a little bit tighter. It means that we will have 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 7th, all on 5 wins, with the Flyers still to play tonight, looking to get their 5th.
And the Caps just into a little delay press there. Whilst it didn't really delay them, it did force a real quick 3. So changing up their defense to keep Adelaide thinking.
Dee will back out onto the floor. She'll get a trip to the free throw line here. So at the margin out, and normally you look to give some of your bench players minutes, does Abby Bishop need the minutes? I'm not sure if you're putting a former MVP on in the later stages of a game that's out to maybe 20 points, are you?
It did look like when she was at the foul line before, she was sort of moving her hand as if she might have hurt herself a little bit. But no, I think she's definitely done her job, and I think she'd probably prefer to watch this one for the remainder of the game from the bench.
She's saying she doesn't need the experience.
She does not need the experience, no.
Dean knocks down triple. Been a good return from her. Hasn't played since December 20. She broke her hand, but has come out and done quite well for the Adelaide Lightning. Up to 14 points now, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So good time and good minutes from her in a comeback. And she looks to gain a bit more rhythm. Will no doubt look to continue on that road. That's why Harper Andrews into the game. See her on the floor. Got a nice little ovation from the crowd as well. Interested that Charlie Collier is still out there.
A great little change of pace there from Boyer. There's a little onside hesitation that really stood the defense up. She was able to attack, draw another defender, and find Collier just in that receiver spot again. Both teams have done a very good job of finding particularly bigs in their receiver spots tonight.
Yeah, it's a great shout, Zoe. It's been a real focal point, and identifying mismatches clearly high on the priority list for both teams coming into this game. You can tell by the points in the paint, 50 for the Caps, 40 for the Lightning. Substitution on the floor. And the big ovation is for Nikki Warner, who's come onto the court now. So Collier does get that break that we expected. And great to see the crowd cheer for some of the players who don't get as many minutes as the top guns. And Japri Steen steps into another basket. Always still out there on the floor. Look at that step through, and she'll go to the line to shoot too. So Scott Ninnis saying keep the starters, or most of the starters, out there and let them figure it out.
Yeah, I love the opportunity in games for, like you mentioned, some of the players that don't get much of an opportunity to play, to let them experience it, because they still train as much as everybody else and as hard as everybody else. When the game's done, I really like that opportunity being given to them.
Good note, Caps are doing this without Meg Jefferson and without Ella Tofiano, both out injured. It was Bishop who was the injury replacement for Tofiano. Inside the final minute here, 15-point margin to the Caps. They put up 88 against them last week, hoping to beat that margin. Good pressure again. Loose ball. That's Free, who's just come into the game, played about a minute.
And that's the sort of pressure I wanted to see just a little bit earlier from Adelaide, just to see if they could spark something. We know how quickly that they can score. So that's good pressure from Adelaide.
Maddie Free's mum, Debbie, was actually a cornerstone piece of Adelaide's championship, their very first championship, all the way back in 1994. Great spin move. Flip up, not quite in from Warner. The crowd would have lost their minds if that one dropped. Up fake. Nice play, didn't hesitate and buries the triple. Good finish from Graham. Grace Graham, supreme confidence. Haven't played all game and you just step into a three like that. Bowyer on the horn. Buries the triple, says anything that you can do, I can do as well. And that will do us from AIS Arena. Jake Melbourne absolutely loves it, and for very, very good reason. A fantastic performance from the UC Caps. They jumped out of the gates and they held their nerve throughout. They win 91-76 against the Adelaide Lightning. Zoe Carr, your thoughts on an impressive victory from the Caps, who moved to 5-10?
Well, we've seen it from the Caps in their last 3 games now, in the way that they're playing, the way they're pushing the ball, they're trying to run in transition. We've seen a different Nadia Poch since Christmas, which is fantastic, her aggression and her ability to get on the rim. But the way they're sharing the ball and finding each other, 20 assists for the game. You're going to really put yourself in a good position if you're getting such a high assist count. So great job from them. Adelaide
little bit of time, but make
Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham. How sweet was that?
Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George.
She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up and so she should be.